If you're preparing to take your MCAT in January, February, or March of 2026, this is how I recommend you structure your study schedule. Quick acknowledgement, everybody's schedule is going to look a little bit different. Some of you are going to study full-time for a couple of weeks. Others of you will only study for a few hours a week over the course of many, many months or even a year. Doesn't matter. Everyone has their own responsibilities and timeline, and that's totally okay. What we're going over in this video is how to structure the time effectively, regardless of the overall timeline. We are going to structure our study into a cycle. Every single cycle is going to start with a practice test. So for example, if this is your first block of studying for the MCAT, you will start with a diagnostic test. Now I get a lot of questions about what company you should be using. Real quick, save the AAMC practice questions for the end of your prep. They are the most important resource to use. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. There are plenty of good resources, and I'm not going to endorse any specific one here. So you start with a diagnostic test. The next thing you do is review it. I have an entire video on how to review your diagnostic tests, and I'm going to link it in the caption. Once you've reviewed the diagnostic test, you're ready to begin your study cycle. And you've already done the first phase of that cycle, which is to review the diagnostic test, noting down why the right answer was right, why the distracting answers were distracting, reviewing the answer choice explanations, and filling out your Excel sheet. Here are the principles for how to sequence out the second phase of your study cycle. Your study day, whether it's 2 hours or 4 hours or 6 hours, will start with any practice questions you have to do. So again, referencing the video that's in the caption, you will address any level 1 or level 2 mistakes by doing the practice questions you need to do, brushing up on those small or middle-sized errors. You will also review any practice questions you do and add those questions to your Excel sheet for this study cycle. So maybe you made some more level 1, 2, or 3 mistakes. You're going to add those into the Excel sheet. Let's say you had a 4-hour study day, 2 hours before lunch and 2 hours after. That might wind up being an hour of practice questions with a bit of a break, followed by an hour of reviewing the questions, followed by an hour lunch break, and then coming back. The second half of your study will be addressing the level 3 mistake, the things where you need to watch videos or read chapters. This is the more passive part of content acquisition. Notice we're putting this stuff after you've done the more active, cognitively intense learning of doing practice questions. You will never try to learn an entire topic in one day. You will leverage interleaving, reviewing different topics together to reinforce their learning, and acquire content in a spiral manner as you go through this cycle of study. When you've addressed all of the level 1, 2, and 3 mistakes from one cycle of study, you are ready for the next cycle. For my clients studying between 3 and 5 hours a day, which is the average, for my clients anyway, one cycle may be about 2 weeks, maybe even more at the beginning, and towards the end of the prep, it might be 1 to 2 weeks. And again, a cycle is practice, test, review, and then review all of the levels of mistakes going through that workflow. Rinse and repeat until you're scoring in the range that you want to get on test day. It's that simple.